Richie at 605 Church.
All right, we're live.
All right, we will call this meeting to order. And we'll begin with the approval of the minutes that have been previously presented. Are there any questions or corrections?
I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
A second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? All right, motion's passed. And next up will be financial matters, and we've been presented the fund report. And then we'll have approval of the claims that we received. Any questions or corrections on the claims?
I make a motion to approve the claims.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passed. All right, so now up to the president's report. I don't really have anything that I've been working on this last month that I've been involved with. Got some parcel stuff we'll talk about here in the old business, but, so I don't have anything else. How about the, committee reports on events?
Yes,
Okay.
I have approached one of our members as far as taking over the chairmanship of that. We discussed a little bit, but we need to have further discussions in order to lay out membership, and we're working toward a list of ideas, and hopefully by next month we'll have a complete report.
Yeah. Good deal. All right. That's everybody. All right, old business. So we've been talking about the parcels that we have available. And so I put together a list of what I know that I think that we have that is available. I'm not sure if there's anything missing, so we want everybody to look at that and see if you can come up with anything additional. But these would be, I've kind of grouped them as individual parcels there. And there's like 13 on there. There's been some that have actually, we've had public interest in. And I know there's some other developers that are interested in general. So it'd be good if we can move forward with this. We'll need to make sure we have the proper appraisals and or broker opinions on these. So I'll have this list for you, Roger, if you can have.
I think most of them had one appraisal, but I have to determine that broker or not.
Okay. All right, so then there's two other groupings I have on there below that. And the thought was to do an RFP on those as opposed to a true offering on the individual lots. We've talked about trying to piece some lots together and look at ideas of whether we could do multifamily housing on those units or just something different than a single family lot. And so the first one there listed is the group of lots. There's 4 lots that are contiguous there between Rice Street and Broadway, just off of Mann. And so that'd be 4 lots there that something could possibly be done. And then also the land we have here on the south side of Cherry. So yeah, my idea was to throw it out there as an RFP, see if there's something of interest. Not that we will do it, but see if there's something that makes sense for that, especially for Cherry Street. You know, that's something that's downtown property that we want to make sure we do something that is good long term. So if we get something great, if we don't, then we can move on and hold on to it. Was my thinking on that. So everybody can look at that and look at our listings we may have and see if there's anything else that needs to be added to it. The one other thing is, one of these lots is, well, two of them are, and we've got action coming up for one of them, that's in the city's name, and there's another one that's actually in the city's name too, so we'd have to do something similar to what we have scheduled for new business. Any additions that I think of?
If we decide to do the RFP, how is that communicated?
We have public advertised, so they advertised in the paper, and then we'll also try to just put it out there, social media and various other ways. It'll be available here for people to come get. If anybody knows of any potential developers that would be interested, obviously outreach would be very helpful on that also.
Do we have a list of, are there any barriers, like things that can or cannot happen in this, on these lots?
Well, we're geared towards residential of some form or factor. I mean, we would entertain business on Cherry's side,
Yeah.
on Cherry Street side. But it'd be,
And these are contiguous, the Cherry Street one?
yes,
Okay.
it's this whole empty lot on the south side of Cherry. There just happens to be 5 parcels.
Okay.
Goes from Cherry Street to the creek. It's over an acre, or about an acre or so.
The railroad and.
Yes,
Railroad
railroad.
over to the street.
Okay.
Zoning would be the, I guess, the only other thing,
Yeah,
depending.
that's what,
Yeah, so whatever it's currently zoned, if that doesn't fit whatever the proposed need is, they would have to propose whatever the appropriate zoning change would be.
Good point.
and the zoning board, is there zoning board that, okay.
Okay. All right. Any other old business?
I was going to bring it back up, point of the mural over here that we discussed, I think it was like this time last year. Is it okay to gather some quotes for that? You guys still interested in doing that?
Do we have something decided upon what we're doing, or?
No, just, we can get some quotes, get some prices, and then see if we want to go from there. Unless you guys want to come up with the image first. I know we've had a few images floating around.
Right.
So,
I don't have a strong thought on it either way.
I'm not set on any of what we've had, so I'm up for new ideas or definitely to get something done.
Okay, do we have, I'm assuming we have, who did the other building, the mural, and where the chiropractor is? Do we have that person
We've talked about
information?
Mhm.
I'd just like to have it.
Actually, I think we're probably down to about the 4th time, maybe trying to do
yeah,
that. He was first and then Stacy had a couple others, but just hasn't really developed
Okay,
into something we really liked or that they wanted to proceed with, so that's what
okay,
we're still interested, just it hasn't happened.
okay.
Any other old business? All right. New business. We have a resolution presented to us, and it's referring to one of those lots that is in the city's name.
530 and 147.
Okay. All right, so that is, so I stand corrected, I saw I didn't see the 147. All right, good. So that's the second lot that I was referencing in the list there. So both of them are included on this resolution. And so these are 2 parcels that are owned by the city, and they'd be transferred to the Austin Redevelopment Commission. So I'll read this by title only. Resolution number 2026-R-5. A resolution of the City of Austin Redevelopment Commission approving and accepting the transfer of certain real property from the City of Austin, Indiana. Have any other questions? Any motions?
make a motion to approve.
I'll second
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passed.
Thank you.
Any other new business?
I'll talk about some things, just update on, I guess, our business. North Down, we did give our contractor approval to strike the entrance of North Down. It'd be a stop bar, center lane, at just the entrance area. They said they were 2 weeks out, it's been about 2 weeks, so I'm gonna check on an update today, get that done. Definitely get it done before the next board work meeting. But we have given them approval to strike that. Let's see, Yorkwoods Development, we have reviewed their wastewater claims, their sanitary claims. Everything is good to go on their end, the lift station they're proposing there. So I think that's kind of been the big chunk of the cost is reviewing their lift station and the tie-in with force main. So they are installing a lift station on the southwest side of their development, and that force main will tie in on the property of the wastewater plant into another force main, and then it'll be combined force main to the treatment plant. So that's all been approved, they're good on that end. Also in the works are, we're looking at adopting some wastewater standards and details. That way, everybody, all contractors who do work in the city now will have to be set to certain standards, and it includes new capacity fees, or sewer tap fees that developments will have to pay. I believe right now that number was $1,500 is what we have it set at per ERU or single family residence. So if a new single family residence was built, they'd have to pay $1,500 to tap on to the city's wastewater lines. Also, with that, we are also looking at adopting a stormwater ordinance as well. So some more information on that will be coming soon.
Okay.
We're looking at adopting a stormwater ordinance.
Thank you. Any other new business? So next up is other business, and some of this conversation got me thinking about the two other buildings. So we're talking about doing these RFPs. Do we want to go ahead and do something for the dentist office and then potentially even the bank, and just throwing something out there as to look for interest? Again, it's just putting feelers out, see if there's an interest. We tried it with the church, turned out to be a goose egg, but if it does, it does. But it's worth the opportunity to see. There's no sense of us just hanging on to these and putting it off. So I don't know if there's any advantage or disadvantages to doing it all at the same time. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, Josh, experience of seeing how that plays out, but we'll be putting a lot out there, but at the same time, there's nothing to lose other than the expense of advertising.
Yeah.
And putting it together.
No, I don't think there's your pool of people that might be interested would be the only thought, and whether or not they have interest in more than one, but they could address that within their RFP. For example, if they had interest in one, the dentist office and a residential, the timelines might be different because of which one they want to choose, whatever, but they could address that within their RFP.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I say so we add that to the list and keep that going forward too. And again, yeah, because appraisals are the big thing. Make sure we have all that in order. So if we should have appraisals for the bank and the dentist office at the point in time, because we've had to purchase it. So those should be fine. It would be the parcels. And so we would need an appraisal and a broker's opinion. Is that right? Because it'd be under a certain threshold?
If it's under a certain threshold, yes.
The buildings would probably need two appraisals though, wouldn't they?
Well, we have appraised.
For both.
Yes, well, we had to have it to acquire, so we would have to have those on file at some point. There's not a timeline that specifically
Yeah, I don't know.
states how they can be or have to be.
Just the buildings would be the only thing I would think would be
Yeah.
over the threshold.
Right. Okay. All right, anything else? Hearing none?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passed. Thank you, everybody.
3 minutes longer.